That was a load of bullshit. I don't know what the hell that was about. Like, what copyright did I violate? See, this is why I don't like this fucking YouTube bullshit. Oh yeah, you're right. That's probably why, because that's exactly what the last thing that I said was. Like that. That's crazy. That is absolutely crazy. That's why I don't like this YouTube bullshit. But whatever. If they shut it down, I'll just go. Because this is pretty much a typical video for me. So I'll just finish it up. I don't have much left to say here. Just finish it up on BitChute or something. Um, that was some ultra bullshit though. I don't understand what that was about. Um, so let me get reoriented. Anyways, um, make sure this shit is still going. But okay. So I was talking about what I agreed with him on, which is that he basically talked about a apex fallacy, right? And that, easily one of the biggest issues with gender relations is women's fixation on a tiny minority of psychopathic men who ironically are emulating feminine behavior. A woman gets played by a cheating fuckboy Chad, she gets abandoned by abusive deadbeat dad, and she immediately ascribes this kind of behavior to all men. Every man is like that in her eyes now. And every female I know does this. Society makes it easy for them to do this. Men can do no right, women can do no wrong. So it's a natural confirmation bias. Never mind the countless good and decent men out there. This one asshole confirms the bias that already exists in my head, which is that men ain't shit. I knew a girl who grew up watching her dad beat her mom. A lot of these girls grow up to be the type of female that he's talking about, which is the lesbian feminist who, only want to be intimate with other women and like weak beta male kinds of men. And they have a natural resentment for masculinity because they've only been exposed to one kind of masculinity. They only allow themselves to see the most vicious kind of masculinity. Every female I've gotten close to is like this. They have a massive chip on their shoulder for the few men that hurt them, usually an absentee father or some Chad that played them or whatever. And women hold grudges for life. They hold grudges for a lifetime. I have female family members who don't talk to each other, haven't really spoken to each other, had a relationship for 25 years. It's unthinkable for men to do that. But that chip is always there, even if they reconcile on a superficial level. That chip is always there. And the first girl I was with was kind of like that. She was that lesbian feminist type. She was always trying to peg me. I was always saying no. Like she was really just going at it, like obsessing over it, trying to peg me. And I'm just like, no, I don't want to do that. And she was like, I have a problem with the fact that you're not queer. And I'm like, what do you want me to do? Start sucking dick for you? Like just so you can feel, just because you're so accustomed to dating fags? I'm not doing that. Anyways, a lot of guys don't realize that every woman keeps a long list of shit that he's doing wrong in her head when, especially when they're in a relationship. Like all of his little inadequacies and whatnot that bother her. She's keeping a list. She's keeping an inventory of all that shit. And eventually it's all going to come out. It's going to come out all at once. She's going to use that to justify cheating on him, whatever the case may be. Of course, she's a completed work. She's perfect the way she is. Every time you talk to your girl, it's always about what you're doing wrong and stuff. She's perfect though. No woman will ever be caught dead having a serious talk with her man like, bae, I'm sorry, I need to be better. doesn't happen, and if it does happen, you should run because, that same girl I was just talking about was like that. She would apologize every 2 seconds, only to do the same exact shit that she was apologizing for, like within 1 hour of apologizing, 1 day at most. It's like they have no conscience, no soul. Um, so this brings me into a point that Michelle Langley made, which is, do does evolution select for insatiable, impossible to satisfy women? Or do these women have an evolutionary advantage? Because it seems like they do. The woman who nags, who keeps herself in the conscience of other people who will help her to survive, especially men, and who, constantly berating and like keeping her man on the ropes and like on thin ice, and so she can extract more out of him and therefore ensure her survival and the survival of her offspring even more. So that's an interesting concept. It seems, I don't know, seems obviously true to me that evolution has kind of selected for like the nagging female. So that we as men, that's where we should take responsibility and select and unselect unselect that kind of female just to make things better. Um, so damn, I still actually have a lot to talk about here, but this is kind of random. But I've been thinking about the and I'm pretty much done talking about commenting on Vakin and stuff. But I've been thinking about that melody I keep hearing, which is like the do 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 melody, and a lot of songs use that melody. And I was just thinking earlier, like, why isn't it cuckoo cuckoo or moo moo or zoo 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 or some shit like that? It's always doo 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 doo, and I feel like that could be deliberate. Like even la 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 la. This sounds crazy, but I look at the open scroll, which is a truther channel community, whatever you want to call it, and they go really really deep. Like they're right on. It's not a specific melody. It's a word. It's a word. DOO do 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 do. It's not like a specific melody. It's just like the word and how it's used in music a lot. But the open scroll, right? They go really really deep into like conspiracy theories, for lack of a better term. And I remember one of their videos was about the Katy Perry video called "This Is How We Do." And any sane person can watch that video and be like somewhat disturbed. Like I probably shouldn't have said that because that's they already took down the first stream, right? I don't believe in reptilians, but I don't completely dismiss it either, or that people are come from an alien race or whatever. Anyways, this video by this famous pop star. Anybody could watch that video and you will be disturbed by what you see if you're like if you're like a truther and you're reading between the lines and stuff, and they kind of analyze this video, and they basically said like that whole melody, well, not melody, but the word and the common usage of that word doo has to do with like sodomy and like anal sex and and all that stuff, and like how they're programming people to well, not programming necessarily, but well, yes, programming, but like that doo is like the use of that word in music is like signaling, like signaling sodomy and like poop and like anal and like all that kind of stuff. That rabbit hole is probably pretty deep on that. Um, so yeah, I was just thinking about that earlier because I feel like I keep hearing that everywhere. Um, but yeah, another thing I hate is like this is like random stuff that was just on my mind today. But like I don't know why, but especially females, like everybody seems to think I have some wonderful, terrific life. Like, I guess it's because I keep my cool, you know, I'm laid back. But everybody seems to think this. Like, my life is not good. I'm sorry. It's not good at all. It's not enjoyable. It's like stop thinking that. Like, I feel like every female I talk to, they're like this Ukrainian was like, oh, you're not really sad or suicidal, blah blah blah. I'm like, whatever. It's, just because I don't go around pouting and crying like you all the time. Just because I have self control, I'm not emotionally unstable. Um, how's everybody going, bro? I don't care. I'm almost done with this. But yeah, that pisses me off, man. Like, have some perspective. It's like a lack of perspective. Um, Lack of empathy too. Like, just not understanding. Like, why wouldn't a person like me be miserable? Do you not see me? Do you not like see my life? Do you not see? I guess you don't see the neurodiversity. You should see that though. Everybody sees that. But I just hate that. But I'm gonna talk about Corona a little bit. This is pretty much the last topic. But yeah, you would think, you know, the sociopathic stare. Mm, yeah, that's it. That's it. But it's also other things. I don't know. I feel like it's just an aura that kind of emanates from you. Like, I do have a stare like that. I dress weird. I look weird. Like, people aren't accustomed to seeing people like me, especially, you know, outside of like a place as diverse as New York, for example. Like, down south, I was extremely uncomfortable because like everybody's a fucking normie. Like, like the normie level is definitely a lot more, you know, black alien. Yeah, I feel like that. You know. Anyways, you would think with all these empty office buildings and stuff and hotels, there wouldn't be people living on the streets. Society is very backwards. I saw a lot of people out there when last time I was, out and about. It was like 2 days ago. They're on the streets, no mask, no gloves, just sitting around. Obviously homeless. Not that it really matters if they have a mask or gloves, but it's funny. We're seeing a lot of low key socialist shit going on with the Corona Gibbs. People working from home, techno socialism. Most people have bullshit ass jobs they can do from home. Retail is being taken over by automated systems, Amazon ordering shit straight to the house. Soon enough, there'll probably be robots making deliveries. Self checkout, robots are doing a lot of work humans used to do. That much is obvious. You don't need me to tell you that. Um, I've been told that the mayor of New York, and I looked this up. He put like homeless people in hotels. Apparently, they took 6,000 homeless people and put them in hotels. We know damn well that's a lot. There's a lot more than 6,000 homeless people in New York. That's not enough. And it was only done supposedly to slow the spread of the virus. Of course, homeless people, of course, old people and like so on, and people who are sick get priority when it comes to that. Unofficially, women get priority, of course, as always. They can't actually say that, but well, they can't actually say that. That's gynocracy for you. Kidnap them. I could see that honestly. That's what I was thinking too. I was like, they really just like take these drugged up people who have no family and nobody to like nobody who's looking for them, and they're like delirious, and just shove them in hotels and to perform experiments on them. I'd be thinking dark like that because I wouldn't put it past it. I wouldn't put it past our government to do some shit like that. Um, yeah, and 6,000 is a low number. Like I said, we know damn well there's a lot more than 6,000 homeless people in New York City. Um, So yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I'm totally on board with the depopulation agenda. Like, I agree almost completely with the Georgia Guidestones. Yeah, they think Trump is gonna save them. He's controlled opposition. Is he even opposition? Like, really? Yeah, it's just nonsense. Married all his kids to Hebes. Anyways, I'm on board with the depopulation agenda. I'll be honest. As an anti-natalist, as a somewhat of an environmentalist, anarchist, whatever. Um, Ted Kaczynski follower of sorts. I don't follow anybody, but you know what I mean. I agree with him. Sympathizer. Um, I agree with it. The depopulation and the Georgia Guidestones. I pretty much completely agree with those. With that, the only question is how do you implement those things? That's the difficult part. That's the part where you get into like questionable moral territory and things like that. But humanity has a tendency to fuck everything up. Like, one of the biggest questions is how we decide who dies and who gets to breed. You know, um, by even trying to be so deliberate about guiding humanity in the right direction, in harmony with nature and so on, we're defying nature. Like, aren't we defying nature just by doing that? By you know, like I said, we tend to fuck everything up when we try to play God. So normies think Trump is the savior. You know what also makes me mad about like normies? They There's a quote unquote mass awakening happening right now, according to a lot of people with the corona and like Epstein and all that stuff. Um, they bandwagon so hard. Like, how long? I'm one of those people. Like, knew there was something up with Jeffrey Epstein. Like, I knew all that stuff for years and years and years and years and years. The truthers and conspiracy theories have been talking about this guy. But it's like only now that something happens and it's probably, a controlled operation or whatever. He's probably in Israel, you know, drinking vodka or whatever. But normies are so bandwagoning on this shit now, acting like they were all woke and shit. Like, no, the fuck you weren't. You were one of those people who were ridiculing the conspiracy theorists who called this shit out probably like a decade ago, if not more. You were one of those people, so don't act all woke now just because it's in the mainstream news now. Because they decided, because the very people that he served as basically a pimp for decided that he needed to go, probably. But now it's in the mainstream news. All these normies are like, oh, he didn't. Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself. Blah blah blah. They're acting all woke now and shit. Oh, fuck off. But yeah, I'm pretty much done with this stream. These cocksuckers want to shut off the want to remove my shit. That's messed up. If they would do some crap like that, but it's YouTube. You got to plan for stuff like that. Anyways, thanks for joining me, boyos. I'm gonna try to download the previous part to this. I should be able to. So it's not lost to the world. That's why I hate this fucking website, man. Yeah. Anyways, see you next time. And don't be shy to leave a comment if you want to. Later, motherfuckers.